My name is Brandon Barr. I am a sixth grade reading, writing, and social studies teacher at Mark Twain Elementary in Chicago Public Schools. So the seminar that I actually took 2 years ago, the formal title was Children and Education in World Cinema. It was led by Dudley Andrew. And in that seminar, we explored stories of education and children in different films and regions of the world. In the seminar, fellows considered the idea of what childhood is like from the point of view of a child, usually watching 2 films at once from a specific region to discuss similarities and differences. Reacting to the experiences of children depicted in the films, teachers grappled with what it's like to view films with the freshness of the eyes of children, what it means to be a global consumer of film in the broader film world, and how to use film to explore the interior landscape of different countries while also revisiting educational theory related to childhood. The discussion of films in seminar was productive and modeled the possibilities for rich discourse around film within our own classrooms. In the unit that I wrote through my participation in the seminar, I explore immigration and migration of children from Central America and Mexico to the United States. Children in both Which Way Home, a documentary, and Under the Same Moon, a fictional film, as well as in narrative nonfiction, Enrique's Journey, demonstrate independence and resourcefulness, like other children in films that we viewed in the seminar. In fact, one common thread in our seminar viewing that we can probably all relate to in this room is the unpredictable nature of children. The seminar leader was able to propel conversations forward because he was able to frame the films that we watched with contextual knowledge, such as sharing political and regional circumstances and film considerations for each pair of films. So in similar fashion, what I hope to accomplish in this unit, and maybe Layla will disagree, is to frame the conversations around this documentary that we watched, this fictional version of the same story, by sharing my own research on children migration in film, inviting students to share their informed opinions and insights about a very topical and important issue which face many of our districts and communities. At this time, I invite my student, well, my former student, now she's a 7th grader, Layla Santiago, to share her experiences as a student in my class while I taught the unit. Layla?
Good morning. My name is Layla Santiago, and I am here to speak about the unit I have learned. This unit involved the stories and a documentary called Which Way Home, Under the Same Moon, and Enrique's Journey. I have learned about immigration and migration journeys through different stories and perspectives. While I was watching and reading these life-changing stories, I was able to connect in many heartbreaking and heartwarming ways. I have learned so much about the many struggles Latinos go through just to live their dream. I was also able to connect to these stories by feeling their determination and sacrifices to meet their goals. This was a different kind of unit for me because I've never really focused on a topic that is happening now and that is still a struggle today. In our city, we see migrants living in tents trying to survive in Chicago's changing weather. It is good to learn about how and why these individuals have ended up in our city. In the documentary, Which Way Home, those children were in a real-life, difficult situation. A lot have traveled here to reunite with parents and family members, or at least hoping to find a job for a better lifestyle. They were robbed, killed, and deported back home, when all they were trying to do was to have a better life. So this unit was very different to work on, thinking how these poor kids had horrible experience in search for their American dream. This unit was very effective by showing me the journey through the characters' eyes and getting a feel of what kids around my age have to go through. Unlike many novels we read, these situations don't always result in a happy ending. so readers and watchers get a glimpse of the real world and the consequences of people in power who make decisions. The film documentary, Which Way Home, it connects to migrants today by being a true life event. It is nonfiction. The filmmaker follows child migrants on their journey to the U.S. These children left behind their families. For some, it was easier to leave than others. They usually live in extremely toxic or poor household that motivates them to leave and start a new life in America. The documentary showed some of the boys sneaking out of their homes to hop on a freight train, praying to make it to the United States. The freight train can take them very far, but it can also be extremely dangerous. For example, many kids would fall off the train while sleeping because they were unable to or simply forgot to fasten themselves to something. This connects to migrants today since not all of them are able to reach their desired destination. Many migrants end up hurt or dead from these rough travels. Just like how in the documentary Which Way Home, the two boys fell off the freight train and sadly passed away. This shows just how standing up can be dangerous and fatal. In the text, Enrique's Journey, the fictional film Under the Same Moon, they share a lot of similarities. One of the main connections is how they are both traveling to see their mother after being separated for many years. Unfortunately, because of the stress, Enrique falls into an unhealthy habit of sniffing glue to distract himself from his mother's absence. Enrique also learns things from his many failed attempts. He learns the hard way not to ride the freight train by himself, not to go on buses, and not to trust the authorities. Basically, not to trust anyone. And for Carlitos from Under the Same Moon, Carlitos also learns that in order to get to America, there are things to look out for. Carlitos also encounters shady characters in his traveling and has also faced the authorities not being so soft on him. Carlitos and Enrique both face the harsh realities of being an illegal immigrant. At the end of the film, Under the Same Moon, it closes on zooming into Carlitos and his mother's space, showing how they are reunited again. This was a very touching moment in the film, but the class wondered about the ending since usually with migrants there isn't always a happy ending. In all three texts, the protagonists are clearly determined. They will never give up. These children met so many obstacles in their travels, not having any money, being robbed multiple times, having no food or shelter, and even being deported. But no matter how many downfalls they had, they never gave up and kept on trying until they met their desired destination. In the story Enrique's Journey, it takes him 8 tries to make it to the U.S. He was attacked, robbed by gangs, and even the police would take custody of his very few items. But he never lost sight of his goal because he was determined to make it to the United States. People in power who are making decisions need to understand what motivates people to come to the United States in order to have plans for when they arrive, because they will arrive. The way my teacher taught us this unit was by having students pay attention and think about the unit by finding and understanding hidden messages. He did this by having the class take notes on events that happened in the stories, not only on surprising and important events. While reading Enrique's Journey, the class took notes on quotes and images. This gave us a chance to reflect on what we were reading. We ended this unit learning about the film reviews and writing our own on Under the Same Moon. We thought about the filmmaker's choices in telling the fictional story from the point of view of a child. Through this writing, we were able to share our informed opinions on important issues that impact our city and nation. The impact that this unit has had on me is to think about how privileged and lucky I am to be able to have many opportunities like jobs, employment, and education to choose from. But in these stories and in real life, they don't have these opportunities. Another reason is that I sometimes feel like giving up when obstacles keep blocking my path. I often start to feel discouraged and just want to give up. However, after this unit, I have come to realize that if kids around the same age as me can cross the border after many failed attempts, I can reach my goals as well. Thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today.